Before we start, the purpose of this video is absolutely not to bash or trash talk anyone who uses cheats or exploits. The purpose of this video is to break down, analyze the psychology and the reasoning why the HORDE mode leaderboards will be hurt if cheating is not addressed on them, understand why people do not cheat and do, both to reach the same goal. So with that being said, please keep that in mind as you watch this video and be kind to each other in the comments. Thank you. As I've been out in the community, I've seen some discussion on the PC leaderboards. People are getting discouraged that it appears that some people have cheated or hacked the scores. And today I'm going to address this and how to handle it in a civil manner. So what do you do if you encounter this when you see this on the board? Now, of course, the names are public. There is no way to avoid this at all. But the very first thing that I have to make clear is that we should not try to witch hunt or get someone and slide their name through the mud. It's never a positive thing to just go after someone Chuck Norris vigilante style. That's not really our place. I mean, what do you have to gain from doing that other than starting a fight? If you really do want to speak with someone about it, talk to the proper channels and make sure when you do go through those proper channels, please make sure that you are careful and respectful about how you handle it. Because what if that person ends up being innocent? Rather than blasting them out on social media, even though, like I said, leaderboards are public, just report it and handle it properly, because you don't know if that person just may be really, really good at the game. That's often why people like to have video evidence whenever they're verifying speed runs or challenge runs or whatever it might be, because that helps kind of solidify it a little more. Now, I know I don't think that there should be cheating that happens, and I do want to talk about how I think that it impacts the fair play community. And like I said, this is not a bashing video. This is a how will this impact the future video? And I want to cover that because I've covered community issues. So I think the main reason, when we really think about, you got to really think about how people perceive things. Perception is huge in this, and we have to look at the, I guess, psychology behind it. What's the difference between using an exploit to get an ultra nightmare golden skin or a gun or something like that, even on any online game? What is the difference between that and using an exploit on, say, the HORDE mode or battle mode leaderboards? The skin is often done so that person can just wear. They don't want to be like, I don't want to spend so many hours doing Ultra Nightmare. I really want to wear that cool gold skin. And really, it's not going to hurt anybody if they do that. I personally feel, this is just me, that they are kind of shortchanging themselves from an experience. I mean, I remember my first Ultra Nightmare clears. I was so excited, so stoked, and that was something that I feel like that I earned, right? If I would have just used an exploit for it, it would not have felt the same. So it's not something that's the end of the world. Like I said, I would urge someone not to do that and really just try to get that experience and work up to it. I know it's tough, but that's why it's locked behind UN for a reason, to really just give you that accomplishment and say, hey, look at this, man. Look at this cool thing here. I think when you get into an aspect of, say, if you do use an exploit for it, and then you tell people like, oh yeah, I earned this, I did this without cheating or anything like that, that's a little bit unfair as well, because you're giving the impression that it was one thing when it's really the other. Ultimately, it's single player at the end of it, and while I do think that it shouldn't be done, I can't stop somebody from doing it, and I'm not going to hate them or be mean to them if they do. I'll treat them just like a person all the same. The difference lies in the multiplayer aspect. Whenever you do use an exploit and you work your way up the HORDE leaderboards, what happens is you begin to push those other players who do the fair play down the ladder. And then they begin to have and harbor these feelings of resentment and anger. They say, and this is super important, please listen to this part, okay? This is why we're in the situation we're in as gamers, as a collective, okay? They begin to get angry. They say, wow, man, I got bumped down to rank 10. I should be rank 9, but that guy cheated and he got up there above me. He doesn't deserve that spot. I do. I put in the hard work. He just cheated his way up there. And not only does this person that did use the exploit to achieve this rank, they get there, and what about the person under them? All their hard hours trying to get up to that point in which they've earned. That is where the resentment, the anger comes in, and just going on, getting mad at the person, and thus begins the process. When it affects other people's actual time, actual real life time that they put into this endeavor, they begin to feel upset. Because say you go to work 8 hours a day, you come home and you're like, man, I love Doom Eternal. I really want to work up those Horde leaderboards. I'm going to put in 4 hours a day, all my free time, driving for this. I'm going to make this because I feel so good about this game and I love it and I want to feel proud of my accomplishments. And then you do that and you put in those 4 hours a day every day after work. You come home, you eat your dinner, you jump on Doom and you practice your heart out to get better at Horde. And after weeks and months of this, you earn that top spot and you're like, man, I feel really good about this. I am proud of myself. I will wear this badge with honor and pride. And then someone uses an exploit and knocks you down. When you consider multiplayer games, and like I said, this video is an examination of someone's thought process in this. That is why these things have such the impact as they do. People pay $60 for Eternal and they say, this isn't the experience I want. I want to have a fair play. I don't cheat. Why should they do something like that when I'm putting in the hours to earn it? That's where these anger and resentment feelings come in. Then you have the person on the other end that does the cheating. They say, it doesn't matter, I want to get up to this top spot by whatever means I can, and I want to have that rank. Now, I'm not saying that they don't care about people's feelings or whatever. I know that that is something that comes to mind, but this is the crux of it. This is where we hit that wall. We have these two competing sides against each other, shooting for the same goal with very different reasoning and logic and approaches to reach said goal. One of them has certain feelings that this should be earned. The other has the feelings of, I don't care, I just want to get this position however I may get it, and this tool, or whatever it may be, it's an example, is how I'm going to reach this goal of mine. It's the means to an end. The one person wants to put the practice and the drive in, the other says, what can I do with all means possible to achieve this goal? And it is their puzzle in that way. That is why they go to the tools. They have the goal they want to achieve, and they don't mind how they reach it. So their puzzle, their combat puzzle, their Doom dance becomes reaching this goal at whatever means necessary, whatever the cost, and figuring out the tools to do that, while the other person is the more standard approach. Now, like I said, I can't say that I support cheating in this case. I really wish that the leaderboards were pure and clean and whole and wholesome, hey, but I cannot control that. I wanted to make this video because it's a topic here, and I wanted to be careful with my approach because I don't want to sound like that I'm handling this the wrong way, and I hope you understand the reason I made this video in my discussion. So please comment below with what you think we should do. I know id Software is definitely going to be on it with their thoughts and all their stuff that they do, of course. So please let me know what you think about this. Become a member if you do enjoy this channel. Thank you so much for watching. Be nice to each other in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.